Om Namo Bhagavate Sachidananda. Om Namo Bhagavate Sachidananda. Om Namo Bhagavate Sachidananda. Knowledge bliss, bliss, absolute. Knowledge bliss, bliss, absolute. In all conditions I am knowledge bliss, absolute. In all conditions I am knowledge bliss, absolute. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shanti 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 Prema Prema Jyoti Om. Shanti 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 Prema Prema Jyoti Om. Jyoti 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 Shanti Om. Jyoti 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 Shanti Om.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Nalanie's talk once again. Most of you have heard Nalanie. I see a lot of new faces here. And for those of you who haven't heard her before, Nell speaks on love, unity, and peace. That is the universal message that she gives. And a lot of newcomers here, I would like to give you a little bit of the background of Nalanie Chellaram. Nalanie Harilela Chellaram was born in the Harilela family and was brought up with the spiritual knowledge of Hinduism. She went on to the Maryknoll Convent School, where she embraced Catholicism and fell in love with Lord Jesus. When she was a little girl and growing up, she met with Swami Satchidananda, who was the family guru many times. Little did she know that one day he would be her master. She went on to university and studied psychology, philosophy, and fine arts. And it was in 1975, I think, that she got married and moved on to Gibraltar, a blessing in disguise. She ran a very successful business in fashion. She had a dancing school, and she choreographed many, many shows, the Miss Gibraltar pageant, and many, many more. It was here that she realized that there was something missing in her life. She had always, as a child, being my younger sister, wanted to give and give. And I think the hardships that she experienced were a blessing to her. It was then that when the soul is ready, the master comes. And so Swami Satchidananda came into her life once again, and she embraced him and was thirsty for the knowledge. She went on to study yoga, pranayama, Raj Yoga. She became a teacher of integral yoga, and Swamiji wanted her to take up his post. Nell was not able at that time, or nor did she want to leave her family. And Swamiji said, your path is different. You go to the youth of today, don't wear orange robes, teach the knowledge to the people, to the everyday people, so they can achieve what they're looking for, happiness and peace. And so Nell started her ashram, and it grew from Gibraltar to Spain. And she opened schools and helped a lot of people on their path, counseling them. She won awards. She's won the award from Queen Elizabeth II, an honor award for her service to humanity. She also won the Humanitarian Award in Virginia, USA. She speaks in London, in Paris, in Germany, in Portugal, all over the world. They invite her to give this knowledge of peace to everyone. Recently, she lost her husband, my brother-in-law Shanki, and The way she has conquered her grief and used that grief to help others is amazing. The work that she is doing now is even greater than what it was. Her following in all these places is so big, and they all know her as Mataji. She's here for the youth, for all of us who are troubled with rituals and with what should be done, what is right, what is wrong. There's no right, no wrong, as you will find out, and you must have found out through many of her talks, that being in her presence is being illuminated with joy and light. I'm not saying this because she's my sister.
She's very kind. I am her sister.
I am saying this because I can feel from all of the people who have come and keep on coming that she is here for a certain type of people who are not ready to embrace religion, but are ready to embrace spirituality, to be good, to be human beings, wonderful human beings, and to serve, to have less war, more peace, and that how we can forgive and make a difference. Today, her topic is forgiveness. And I'm sure that you don't want to hear me. I was not supposed to introduce her, but somebody who was supposed to introduce her could not make it. So I hand you on to Nalanie Chellaram to give a talk on forgiveness and on love.
Thank you, sis. Sorry, Vincent. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, it's on. Can you all hear me? Okay. Thank you, my beautiful sister and my beautiful family, for all the support, for arranging today. My beautiful daughter-in-laws, nieces, sister-in-laws, sisters. I'm so blessed to have such a beautiful family, so thank you all. Thank you, Virgie, for organizing everything as well. I need to thank the people who work so hard, because without them, I wouldn't be sitting here talking on one of my favorite subjects, like all the subjects, they're all my favorite, as people tell me, and that's on forgiveness. It's one of the most important aspects of our life. We all run around searching for peace, looking for peace. But I can tell you one thing for sure. If you have anger in your heart, if you have pain in your heart, if you feel somebody has hurt you so badly, you will never, ever find peace in your life until you forgive. And I learned this lesson so many years ago when, as Mira so rightly said, I was going through a process in my life where I was very angry with life. You know, why do people hurt each other? Why is there no justice? And my master came along and I started this path. And the biggest lesson I first learned was the lesson with my guru on forgiveness. When I went to see him in Portugal on my very, very first retreat, I was full of anger. And yet I thought I was spiritual. Yet I thought I was good. I prayed every day. I was a good person. Didn't I work hard? Didn't I look after my family? But why wasn't I peaceful? I couldn't understand. Why were people not nice? And everybody should be nice. And while I was saying, why, look at me. Look at my face. I never saw that I was looking angry and upset. I never could see myself. So anyway, I went to this retreat and I was talking to my master and I said, Gurudev, I really want to find peace. I really want to live this life joyfully. We only have one chance in this body. Let me do it well. And then he goes, okay, Nalanie, you learn to meditate, purify your mind, and peace will come to you. And then, you know, when you first start the spiritual path, we're all complainers by nature. Did you know that, human nature? We always like to feel sorry for ourselves. You know, but this happened, so I'm like this. And because this happened in the past, we just love to blame, you know. So I started like that. But Gurudev, you know, this person has been so horrible to me, and I've been so good, and I don't know. And he goes, Nalanie, forgive this person. Gurudev, I've already forgiven, but this person doesn't blah, blah, blah. Nalanie, do you want peace? Yes, Gurudev, I want peace, but you don't understand. All this harm this person. Nalanie, do you want peace? And I go, yes, but no buts. You are the one that's searching for peace, not the other person. You are the yogi asking for a better life, not the other person. And I am telling you that if you want peace, you have to forgive. I went to him, it's impossible. How can you forgive somebody who's caused you so much harm? That was my state of mind so many years ago. How can I do it? And he goes, very easy. Every morning, when you meditate, you sit down before you start, you see this person and you bless them and you wish them well. And I go, oh Gurudev, that would make me a real hypocrite because I won't do it with love in my heart. And he started laughing and laughing and laughing. He said, yes, Nalanie, first few weeks you will feel like a hypocrite. But just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. And suddenly, one day, you will get up and it will be sincere. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to try it. What else do I have to do? I really want peace. And so I did this practice every day. And still today, this person occupies my brain first. The one that hurt me the most seems to be the one I'm praying for the most. Isn't that odd? Because it became part of my life, part of my practice. And I'm so grateful today to this person who's caused me so much harm that it's taken me to a place of peace. They become our gurus. They become our best teachers. What does the word guru mean? Remover of darkness. In order to remove the darkness, you have to see it first and recognize it as darkness, don't you? And what do you apply when you have darkness? Light. So what do you apply when you have anger? Peace and love. Medicine. It is medicine. And I didn't understand the word medicine. I didn't understand that the medicine for hate was love. I didn't understand that. And all the dis-ease in my mind caused the dis-ease in my body. Haven't you noticed that when you're angry, how do you feel that day? Look at the body, it's tense. Look at the sickness that will come from tension. Yeah? Even the shoulders hurt to do that. Anger. And when you don't forgive, what happens to you? You are the prisoner. You are the prisoner. And that anger deep inside, it's so deep, huh? It's so deep. It's very easy to say, oh, I read all the scriptures, I'm a good person, and I've forgiven. Very easy to say. Haven't you heard people say that? Oh, I've really forgiven, they tell me. I've really forgiven. You've heard that many times, right? And then I see the next time they see the person or any opportunity to find a fault with that person, they'll do it. Any opportunity to feel sorry for themselves, poor me, really, I've forgiven, but they've done this, me, and it doesn't, but I've forgiven. So the pain is still there. The words are correct. But the soul is not in harmony with the words. It's with your body. You know what Master Shivananda says? From the thoughts come the words. From the words come the action. From the action comes your character. Comes your character. So going back to forgiveness, this is what happened with this practice of sending this person that caused so much pain light every day. What was I doing? I was applying light to darkness. It's a very simple practice. We will do it before we finish. We finish this talk. We'll all practice it. It is so simple but so effective. But then once you learn the practice, there's a secondary reaction. It takes time to forgive, really from the core, all right? You got to give yourself patience and time. And while you're giving yourself patience and time, try to stay away from that object that has caused you pain. Have you understood that? That's wisdom. Until you are strong enough, do not be near that object. Again and again, I see human beings tell me, for example, oh, I'm going to this party. They love partying. No problem. You love party. Enjoy life. It is your life. But fill it. If you're really going to enjoy, enjoy. Don't go to a party. Come back home next morning complaining that this person has insulted you. This person said you didn't look nice. This person said you're getting fat. This person says you're getting thin. Why do you go if you get so upset in the morning? I don't understand. What a waste of energy and time. What a waste of your beautiful life. All the time going to party, getting criticized, come home, being miserable. What? 24 hours doing it? I can't understand it. But maybe there is a reason. But if you think about it, if you go somewhere and somebody disturbs your peace, why do you keep going back again and again for more? My master always said, you make a mistake, no problem. Fine, forgiven 1,000 times. But a fool who makes a big mistake is a real fool because he repeats it again and again and again and again. Now, everyone has a different nature, right? We all are gifted with individuality. Isn't that wonderful? We're all different. And forgiveness is really vital if we want to have peace. So if you go to a party and it upsets you the next day, ask yourself, why are you upset? Is it the people that are upsetting you? They are there to test you. They are there to test your spiritual muscles. You are upset because you have a big ego. So there's no reason to get angry at those people at the party. In fact, you should go to the party, and if they insult you, say, really, you think I look fat? Fine, thank you for telling me. I'll go on a diet tomorrow and come back happy. No problem, go to the party, enjoy it. But if you come back miserable, ask yourself, always revert it back to you. Revert it back to yourself. What has caused me this pain? What has caused me this pain? You'll come back to the truth, and the truth is, I have allowed somebody to cause me this pain. Our master always said, if somebody calls you stupid and you get angry, you are a fool. Because you've agreed with them by getting angry. If you're really not stupid or silly or ugly or whatever you want to think you are, when they call you that, you will just laugh, won't you? So it also shows the second thing. 1, huge egos. 2, lack of self-esteem. Lack of trust in who you are and what you are. You don't have enough of that. And why don't you? Third reason, people pleasing. We have such a desire for people to like us that we will sacrifice who we are. And when we sacrifice who we are for people to like us, we get angry because we're not ourselves. We're not ourselves. Every soul is different. I remember when I was very young and a teenager, I bought a big poster, black and white one, Mira, you may remember it. And it said, I am not in this world to live up to your expectations. You are not in this world to live up to mine. You are you, and I am I. And if by chance we meet, it's beautiful. And a lot of our anger comes from the fact that we don't allow others to be who they are. So many marriages and relationships breaking up today. Why? You know why? You should be what I want you to be, otherwise you're not good enough as a human being. Don't you think that's really cruel? Don't you think it's really awful to tell somebody that they have their personality and it's bad because it's not equal to yours? I learned that lesson, thankfully, from my beautiful husband. He was quite tough on me sometimes. You know, and thank God, I called him my best ego basher. In fact, when he passed away, I missed it. He's been the one to bring me down to earth. And I think, you know, people are brought together, and this is what I have learned, to learn from each other, to bring out the best of each other. And we really would do that if we really saw that they were them and we are us, and we appreciate who they are. They would appreciate us back. But as human beings, like I said, we always find fault with somebody else. We always put the blame. We always love to point the finger. And again, I love to repeat my master's great words. You point one finger that way, guess how many pointing back? Towards you. More. And guess what? The trigger's in your hands. So to understand how to really forgive, not just to say, I forgive, you have to look deep into all these aspects, these psychological, emotional aspects of yourself. Now, what is it about me that attracts people to cause me pain? What is it about me? Am I always thinking me? Correct. Why is this person causing me pain? Why is this person causing me harm? Selfishness, or always thinking about I, me, and mine. Again, if you're always involved in I, me, and mine, as my master would again say, all those minds will explode. All those minds will explode. As Kennedy said, do not ask what the world will do for you, but ask what you will do for the world. And why should you do that? Why? Because when you do that, you have wings. You can fly. When you serve, love, give, meditate, purify, realize, you fly. You develop the freedom by forgiving. If you hold on to anything, you all know, the first thing that happens to you when you get up in the morning and throughout the day, you will hold on to that anger. You will hold on to the pain. And whose life are you spoiling but your own? And if you can let it go and just give it, they say let go, let God, let go, let the universe, whatever you want to call it, just let go of it. And it's only the ego holds you back. Because you don't want to be wrong. But you don't have to be wrong. You just have to let go. It really doesn't matter who is right or wrong when you're in your coffin. Does it? Do you know, people come to me, so many little marriages, fight over silly things. I like the gloss here, I like the gloss there. I like it this way, and I like it. What are you wasting your life on? Tomorrow, if that person should fall dead, would you still be angry about silly things? Spend your life in things that are worthwhile. Forgive and give space for the universe to use you as an instrument of peace. Because when you are blocked, an unforgiveness is a blockage. It's a blockage. It's like, when you have something in your pipes and the water doesn't go through, especially when you see sinks and people don't clear their sinks and all the hair is down there, the water comes bubbling up, right? And it all looks horrible and putrid and horrible. And this is what happens to us on the inside when we don't forgive, when we don't let go. So really, forgiveness is a wonderful tool, It's really very selfish to forgive, because when you forgive, you make yourself happy. You let things go. You fly. It feels like you have wings. You can move again. The body is not stiff anymore. There is no one to blame. There is no one to blame. As Peter asked Lord Jesus, he said to Lord Jesus, how many times should we forgive? And Lord Jesus answered, 70 by 7. Does not your Father in heaven do more for you every day? if we think how many times for each harsh word we have spoken in our lives, and you all know how many harsh words you have spoken without thinking. Without thinking. And this is why it's so important, the yogic practices of meditation, breathing, so that we think before we speak. You know, Tiruvalluvar used to say, great South Indian saint used to say, a word is like a bird. A word is like a bird. Once spoken, you cannot bring it back. And again, recently I was seeing a gentleman and his wife, his ex-wife, already ex-wife for 22 years. Already she's been remarried with a very nice man. Already has 2 or 3 new children. Still 22 years angry. Later, still angry at him. What's happened with those 22 years of her life when I met her and spoke to her? What have you done? You have not appreciated the man that is with you now. In fact, every mistake that your ex-husband has made, you accuse this one of. You have missed out on the joy of bringing up your children. Your daughter doesn't want to be near you. She runs away. She was about 16 or 17 when I met her daughter. The sight of you, because you're always angry. And she keeps telling you, Mom, get over it. Mom, get over it. And the mother keeps going on. And I say, who has it harmed? By not forgiving, who have you harmed? Yourself. Your new partner, your children. No God has punished you to cause you this pain. Please don't blame this beloved energy. It's just a dynamic force and a dynamic energy that loves. That's all it is. We've caused it to ourselves. You've done it to you. There's nobody to blame. And when you take responsibility, then there's the freedom of changing your life. Do you know, one meditation, one creative visualization, and she could forgive. It's just knowing how. It's just being able to. It's just letting go. When she realized she was destroying her own life, she said, why didn't anybody tell me that having unforgiveness, I am spoiling my own life? I said, well, you know, it takes a long time for the brain to understand that. But now that you know, it's not that it's going to go away like this. Maybe now, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you're going to feel good. You know, you really have to work on yourself constantly. Sri Patanjali, the great yoga master, said, how do you practice for a long time without a break and with all your heart? That means you really, really have to want peace. I ask you all, what do you want in your life? Do you want peace? Anybody here? Do you want peace? Yeah? Do you want to say it really loud? Yes! Because, you know, it's making the affirmation, yes, that you do it. You know, I always tell all my students in Gibraltar and Spain, you know, if you don't have a goal, you're not going to reach it. So you got to see it really clearly. As my master said to me, do you want peace? Yes. Then let nothing disturb your peace. So anything in your life that comes, and mostly what comes in your life is past anger, past grievances, you know. And there's another story. I had this man who was about 65, and it was his 3rd marriage along the road, and he was going to leave his wife. Anyway, I'm allowed to tell these stories, so I'll tell you these stories. About to leave his 3rd wife. 65 comes to me in a room, and we, you know, I keep asking him. He says, I've been to psychologists in New York, in London, in Rome, and this place, and for years and years, I still have this pain, and every time I really become unconditionally in love with my partner, I have to leave them. I have to leave them. So I said, what is the reason? So I found out that as a child, he was abused physically. He was abused physically by his mother all the time. And so he grew up, even though his mother was long dead now, He grew up with this inner anger, so deep. So every time he found a good woman and trusted her, married her, what would happen? He'd want to leave her. He'd force himself to hate her and dislike her because he was dysfunctional as a human being. So what happened? He went to see psychologists, right? Many different psychologists. Do you know why? What was he doing? Repeating his story about his mother who abused him over and over and over and over again. If you repeat over and over again, are you ever going to forget it and let it go? Never, are you? So I said, you know what you've done for 20 odd, 30, 40 years? You've repeated your story, the same story, to the same different psychologists, over and over and over, and your pain, your abuse has grown bigger and bigger and bigger, and your third wife, who's a wonderful woman, you're going to lose her. So he says, Nalanie, what do I do? I said, one, you've talked enough all these years about the same problem. Stop talking about it. First thing you do, try to control your mouth. Try to control your brain. Hard to control your brain. How do you do it? Bring in beautiful thoughts. Think about all the good qualities of your new partner. Is she kind? Yes. Is she lovely? Yes. Think about all the good qualities. Anything that associates her with your mother, cancel out by thinking good thoughts. So he did this practice. Second thing, we did some 6 or 7 weeks creative visualization, seeing his mother and forgiving her. She didn't know better. I asked him about the mother. The mother had a very horrible time with her parents. She was beaten. She was hurt a lot. So I said, do you see? She really didn't know better. She really didn't know better when she had you. So please let her go and let her have her peace wherever she is and forgive her. So we did this for 6 to 8 weeks, and he worked on it every day, seeing his mother, and said, she did not know better. What happened was, he didn't leave his third wife. They went on their really special honeymoon after being married for 10 or 15 years, and they sent me a beautiful card saying, we're so happy now. So I had learned from all my patients that when they really, only time they really heal is when they forgive. He had done all the work with the psychologist, which brought him to the point where he could do no more. And how we all really heal is when we touch our spirit. And what is the element of our spirit? The Upanishads talk about our deep soul and our spirit as the Lord of love. If you look at our books, they talk about this spirit as the Lord of love over and over and over again. And it is only when we're in that dimension in our soul that we can really be healed. Carl Jung, the great psychologist, said it was only by touching the super consciousness, that one could heal oneself. So all these elements, love, kindness, generosity, build up your energy to help you forgive. But if you're constantly thinking about that harm that has been done to you, that injustice that has been done to you, then you will never heal, and you can never find what we call peace or God. And please understand really very, very clearly, there is no God or power that is hurting you or causing you pain. If you can imagine a dynamic power station, how do we get our electricity, our light? All from the power station. Now, if you put your finger into the socket, what will happen? What will happen? You'll become electrocuted, right? You'll burn yourself. But if you turn on the switch, you get light. So, everything is available to us. We just have to do it ourselves. There was this American Indian, wise old grandfather, talking to his grandchildren, there's my granddaughter, and saying to the grandchildren, you know, in your minds, there are two wolves and they're constantly at war with each other. Oh, Granddad, really? Yes, constantly. One wolf is arrogant, mean, cruel, unforgiving, unloving. And the other wolf, Grandfather, can you tell us about the other wolf? Oh, kind, generous, loving, peaceful. Grandfather, which wolf wins the battle? And the grandfather answers, the one you feed most. So, this wonderful Lord of Lights or Lord of Love is willing to give us everything and anything we want or desire. Anything we want or desire. That is the power that is available. And it is our individual human personalities that choose to have qualities that hurt us. We choose it. Why? Because the ego, the human being, we love to feel sorry for ourselves. It's not wrong, it's just fun. If you look at the bigger picture, if everything was peace, 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 there would be nothing for us to do, would you? Would there be? You would be very bored. So all these things happen to us from the bigger picture to teach us to transcend it. All the texts, all the scriptures tell us that. They tell us to transcend the human mind. If you try to meditate, many people cannot. Why? Chitta-chatta, 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 chitta-chatta. So be smart. You go beyond it. You watch the chitta-chatta. Don't become part of it. Have you understood that? You watch it. How do you watch it? You can watch your good thoughts and you can watch your bad thoughts. Correct or incorrect? All of you can do that. So you have to ask yourself, who is the one that's doing the watching? It's the one that's neutral, pure. Lord Jesus, blessed are the pure, they shall see God. They shall see the truth. For me, God is truth, light, fun, love. As our Master says over and over again, our birthright is to be happy. Happy. Happiness personified. That's what we should be on this earth. Have you met any real spiritual master that's been miserable? So why do all the disciples go, be strict, be austere, don't smile, don't do this? None of the masters I know are austere. And my guru used to be so funny. Used to make, didn't he? He's so funny, make us laugh. And if you see Dada Jayshan, whom I love so much, isn't he always smiling? And he's got such a bright, beautiful face, And Mother Teresa, if you met her, such a small lady with such dynamic energy, so much love. Didn't you say, Mira, when you brought her the money as a donation, she wasn't even interested in it. She was more interested in the prostitute who needed help by the door. These things are not important. All these material things, great, have them. I love them. I wear nice rings. But tomorrow they got lost and somebody stole them. They didn't belong to me anyway. I saw my husband pass away. All his clothes, everything, his watches, everything. No, could he take it with him? So we gave all the clothes away quickly to cancer research, And this time I managed to get all his stuff, his jewelry, and say to my son's yours. Don't keep it in the safe. What the safe is going to enjoy it, you enjoy it. So enjoy what you have, but you cannot enjoy anything fully unless you learn to forgive slowly. Understand it takes time. Slowly. Be patient with yourself. I find that people are so impatient with themselves. And this is the big problem. Your mind is willing to forgive, right? But you don't allow yourself. You're not kind. People are not kind to themselves. To say, okay, I can't do it. I can't do it so quickly. It's okay. You have to fall many times. Have you ever seen a child, a toddler? They fall many times before they walk. Are we still not children? You know, we live eons. We never die. We are eternal. All the prayers tell us we are eternal. This is just a blip in our eternity. We never, ever die. Did you know that? We just lose this body. I know that this Nalanie is going to go. But while Nalanie has Nalanie, then she might as well enjoy who Nalanie is. We have human quirks. We have human personalities. Accept them. Don't deny them. We resist. So we don't forgive ourselves when we do something wrong. And in order to forgive others, you have to learn to forgive yourself first. Can you understand that? We are all humans. We all make mistakes. We all fall on this world. Every single one of us. And if we can't have compassion to ourselves, we can never have compassion for anybody else. And when we have compassion for ourselves, we will have compassion for all people. And forgiveness is that compassion. It is that water that puts out the fire. It is that wings that make you fly in this life in joy. Pain? Who doesn't have pain? What makes you be so special that you're the only one suffering? Do you know one human being that doesn't suffer? I really don't. You know, every time I even start to want to complain, I'm ashamed of myself. Even the thought. I say, Nalanie, you think you have anything to complain about? Think again. Think again. Another way to develop forgiveness without focusing on the problem is to practice contentment. Use the opposite action. Got it? Practice contentment. I am content. Why am I angry about this small thing? Look what all the wonderful things I have. Do we not all in this room have a plate of food? Luxury. I think Hong Kong is really luxurious. It's really delicious food too. You know, I've traveled nearly all over the world. You have the best here. Really, such a good life. Such a good life. One person to love you. All the gifts that the gods have given you. What have we got to complain about? Oh, somebody caused me some harm. Big deal. Get over it. Get over yourself. You know? Get over yourself. Are you so important? I would like at this point to ask Harsha, if it's possible, to sing St. Francis's prayer to you. This prayer, I've asked her to photocopy for you today because it's so, it's helped me so much in my life. Whenever I wanted to hang on to my human imperfections, because we have a habit of doing that, we like to feel sorry for ourselves, as I said earlier, I would read this prayer again and again and again. And now it's become part of my living process automatically. When you get into the mode of poor me, read this prayer. When you say, oh, I wish somebody would do something for me, read this prayer. Nobody owes you anything. You are the richest person in this world. Do you understand that? Nobody owes you any favors. You already got the best gift of all, a human life to love, to share, to enjoy, to smile, to dance. That's the best gift we have been given. Make use of it. And use it to serve others. Because if you walk in the world with a sad, long face, you contaminate it with a virus beyond your belief. And when you walk into the world and you, with a smiling face, you bless the world beyond your belief. You become that instrument that you were born to be. And when you become that instrument you were born to be, there is a fulfillment in the soul. Peace comes naturally. Forgiveness comes naturally. You don't have to struggle with people and say, I have to forgive, I have to forgive, I have to forgive. No. You just have to build love in your life. The opposite action, remember, always apply the opposite medicine. It's medicine for your soul. We apply physical medicine when we get sick. Please learn. The world needs to learn how to apply spiritual medicine to make us rich in our spiritual life so that we can enjoy a wonderful earthly life, albeit painful, and many times so painful that you think you're never going to get through it. But guess what? You always do. Isn't that a miracle? I think it's a miracle. We always get through it. Wow, we humans are something else. So please, Harsha, could you sing the song, and if anybody knows the words?
Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, your pardon, Lord. And where there's doubt, true faith in you. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there's despair in life, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, only light. And where there's sadness, ever joy. O Master, grant that I may never seek so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. It is a pardoning that we are pardoned, in giving to all men that we receive, and in dying that we're born to eternal life.
Thank you. Thank you. See, it's all medicine in that poem. Everything you need to practice to be peaceful and happy and forgiving is in that one prayer. And if you're smart, you'd glue it by your bedside. And every day, every morning, look at it. Because what will happen? You'll take it home tonight and you'll forget tomorrow. And everything will go back to normal. And then all the blaming will start again, and all the discontent will start again, and all the old anguish will come up again, and all the blame will come again. If this person hadn't done this to me, this would not happen to me now. If I hadn't lost so much money, this wouldn't have happened to me. You've lost it. It's not going to come back. How much can you complain about something that is painful? It's already painful enough. Why do you want to give yourself more pain? Forgive it. Let it go. Why do we hold on? Ask yourself again and again, who am I hurting? That is true spirituality. What's the point of reading 100 books on scriptures if you can't forgive? If you can't give love? So many people come to see me with problems, and they say, I'm really good. I say, really? You're really good? Great. What makes you so good? Oh, I look after my family. Doesn't everybody do that? Doesn't everybody do that? So what makes you different from everybody? What have you done for your neighbor? What have you done for your maid that works with you? Have you been kind? Have you treated her as a normal human being? Or do you treat her as a piece of dirt? What have you done that has made you so good, or so kind, or so loving, or treating every human being as an instrument of God? Ask yourself those questions. Because as you sow, you reap. It's a universal law, no punishment. You want to be happy? Read good things every day. Think, get up in the morning. What can I do to make this a better day for somebody else? And when you make it better for somebody else, guess what? The joy in you. Today, my Harsha was telling me that my little grandson went to nursery this morning, and they were making little beads. And he said he wanted to make one for his sister. So when they got in the car and he gave it to his sister, Indira, she was so excited. She hugged him. Thank you, Shahan. Thank you, Shahan. And he was laughing and she was laughing. And she said, Gran, it was such a magical moment. Isn't it true? When you watch your children love each other and forgive each other, have you seen how easily they do it as children? Brothers and sisters, they fight and then they do something kind and they forgive. Shouldn't we do that as adults? Why is it the same brother and sister that loved each other when they're little are grown up and arguing? You know what it is? Money, money, money. It's not funny. And that's what it is. It's always about money. Why don't you just share your money? 50-50. Why do I have to more and you have less and this one is better and this one worse? I don't understand. Do you understand? Why can't you share? Can you take it to your grave? Your entire life ruined. Heart attack, dead, and you haven't even enjoyed the money. All you've done is the money has enjoyed the fighting. You can't enjoy it, share it. You have it, share it with others. Care for them, love them. It's a great gift, and as you share, it will multiply. It will multiply and multiply and multiply, because that is the law of nature. As you sow, you reap. Give, 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 always give, laugh, be happy. And it makes, I look at all these families breaking down, and I go, are they blind? Don't they know that one day we're all going to die? They can't take anything. Look at my husband, 6 weeks' notice. Thank God he was a generous man. Everything, his kids, he adored them. He was so proud of his children. All the sacrifices to give them the best education. So proud of that. Don't you feel proud of that? What is more important? What is money used for? To care for each other. I see people spending thousands on dinners, which is great if you have it. But then when it comes to their own health, their own bodies, I don't want to spend 1,000 on the doctor. But you spend it on your dinner. Aren't you more important than the dinner? Aren't you worth it? Is that how little you think of your human life? And it makes me, really? Spend it, look after yourself, because if you don't have a life, you can't go out for those dinners. So make sure you're well. And they laugh, It's not that anybody's bad or wrong. It's just that it's these chips that we've had and been brought up with so many generations that it's so deep inside that we have to work so hard to shine the light on them to see they're not valid anymore. They don't work. These things don't work. They don't make us happy. What makes you happy? Ask yourself. What makes you happy? What makes you happy? Do you ever spend time walking on the grass barefooted? Have you tried it? It's wonderful. Have you gone by the sea and just sat there and look at the expanse of nature and God and the skies? Have you ever done it? Do you make time? You want to see God? You see God in the waves and the ocean and the sky, because you are alone with that God in peace. Does anybody make time for that these days? I'm too busy. My friend, it's too late when you die. There's a lovely English song. Who is it by? It's too late when you die to admit you don't see eye to eye. It's too late. So you have any grievances with somebody, any sadness, just go to them. Break down that ego and say, you know what? We don't get along. Maybe I feel you've hurt me, you feel I've hurt you. What a waste of energy and time. Maybe we don't like each other. We'll stay away from each other. But I forgive you. Will you forgive me? Finish. Sometimes you just don't like certain people. No problem. Just forgive them. Don't be in their company. Sri Patanjali says, disregard the wicked, which means stay away. Don't give it energy. Don't give it energy from anything that creates negativity. but make peace first before you do it. Otherwise, you'll hold it in your heart for the rest of your life. And God bless your life. What a waste. So let's us go to the questions. And before I go to the questions, may I say something that's really very personal? Forgive me. I want to say, Mom, just to my mother, 1 minute. I just want to say, Mom, I love you. My master has always said to us over and over again, your first guru is your mother, your first teacher. And I want to thank you very much for being my mother. And thank you for coming today down, because she hasn't been so well, and she made such an effort. She said, I don't want to hurt you. So I am very grateful, Mom. And then my second mother, who brought me up as a child, because Mom was sick when I was born, is my sister Mira. And it is very important to acknowledge the people who love you and look after you in your life. And I thank you dearly. And all my family, and my beautiful son, my daughter-in-law, and they've been wonderful. When my husband passed away, they took over and really looked after me. I am so blessed, don't you think? Aren't you blessed? Keep saying it. Can you say it?
I am blessed.
Keep saying it.
I
I never
am
forget
blessed.
easily. I am aware of needing to spiritualize my negative ego. But in that moment, it is easy to give in to negative feelings and react. How to rise above it? Okay, at that moment, that's the secret. At that moment, when you feel, you've already recognized at that moment, that you are facing this negative moment, right? At that moment, stop. Take a deep breath. That's all you have to do. Stop and take a deep breath. And as the English saying says, count to 10. You literally count to 10. And if you have a mantra, do 10 mantras. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. By the time you come to do the 10 Om Namah Shivayas, guess what? That negative moment would already have been dissolved. Yeah, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. That negative moment would have already been dissolved. And that's how you transcend that moment. You got it? Is it easy practice? See how easy the practices are? But will you do it?
Yes.
Yeah. Very easy to say the solution, but if you don't apply the medicine, it's not going to go away. You're going to have this problem for the rest of your life. So good luck. Transcend it. I hope I've answered your question. Second question. Blank.
Good question.
It's a good one. I know it all. It's good. Actually, the thing is, we really don't know anything, you know? I have learned through the spiritual practices, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. You know, if you just look up at the universe and the stars and the planets, and you look up there, there's so little we know. And isn't it wonderful? You know, and I love that my master taught me this. He said, you know, people, when they have spiritual knowledge, they have huge ego. I know the Bhagavad Gita, and I know this, and I speak Sanskrit, and I chant this, and I chant that, and I know. He says, you know what I tell them? Look at Goddess Saraswati. She was a goddess. She's still doing her mala beads, and she still has a book in her hands. And she's still playing music. So who do you think you are, that you know it all? And this is one thing we all have to watch out for, this spiritual ego. I know. I rather say, you know what? I really don't know too much. All I know is my birthright is to be happy. I am not Nalanie. Nalanie is on loan. That's all I know. I'm on loan to myself. And because this body is a gift, I have a responsibility to use it well. This is an instrument. It's only a gift. You all know that, don't you? Start to repeat it. Am I really me? Are you really Harshit? You think you are. That is our problem. That's how you transcend it. Ask yourself, 50 years, I will not be sitting here. So who am I? Am I that important? What do I know? Nothing. All I know is how to love each moment as much as I can. And all I know is that we make mistakes as human beings. And if I make a mistake, I forgive myself and move on. Don't worry too much about guilt. People will love to make you feel guilty, though. They love to make you feel guilty when you forgive yourself. They love to tell you it's wrong. So you know what you do? Thank you very much, but I've worked it out. Thank you very much, but my Father in Heaven's forgiven me. You can still be angry, but I've forgiven myself, you know? And that's what you keep doing. Don't let people fool you. I've heard that forgiveness, but not forgetting, is not really true forgiveness. What advice do you have for someone who has been burnt in the past, but really wants to move on? I don't want to forget because I don't want to repeat any mistake. I've heard that forgiveness but not forgetting is not really true forgiveness. That's not really 100% true. Forgetting comes of itself when you heal. Totally. In the early stages of your spiritual advancement, it is much easier to first forgive. Don't worry too much about the forgetting. In fact, sometimes that forgetting reminds you that, oh, the same kind of person is coming to my life. I'm going to make the same mistake again. No. Look for something totally different. I'm falling down the same hole. So that forgetting, in a way that you don't forget, is still protecting you to a point until you realize there's nothing to be protected from. But until you get to the point, in a way, that not forgetting is your protection barrier. When you get stronger, as you get stronger over the years with your practices, many things will leave you. You don't have to struggle with, I have to forget it. I've forgiven, but I have to forget it. No, just do the practices. The forgetting, it will just dim, because your practices will bring you so much joy that there's nothing to remember. There's only nice things to remember. Do you see? We're focusing on the nice things, as St. Francis Prayer says, so by itself, you will forget. But up to the point, it is there because you need it as a protection. That means you're still vulnerable. You are still weak. You can still fall into the same trap. That's why you're not forgetting. Okay? There's nothing wrong with you. But you need to do the practices to build up your strengths. Otherwise you will struggle all your life. Sorry, that's the truth. You have to work on yourself. That's why I say, I don't know why people say they are bored. When there's so much to do with yourself, how can you ever be bored? There's so much to fix in here. And it's quite a lot of fun to fix it, you know? You become your own doctor, your own psychologist. Isn't that great? You don't have to spend all those thousands. You can learn. And you know, the spiritual teaching is when you understand the microcosm, you understand the macrocosm. And that's one thing I do know. The more you study yourself and your own emotions, the more you understand others. The more you love and forgive yourself, the more you love and forgive others. Always starts here. In the Bible, love thy neighbor as thyself. So you have to start with yourself. Forgive yourself. Be generous of spirit and heart. Be generous to you, and then you can be generous with everyone. Haven't you noticed the teachers who are very rigid on themselves have no compassion for the students that make the mistake? And then the students, they break them. They break them. But the teachers that are strong but have compassion are the teachers that will make their students. So always apply compassion with strength. Have you understood that? Compassion with strength, not weakness. Remember always, weakness is not goodness. Can you repeat it? Weakness is not goodness. Many people say, oh, I can't because I don't want to. I can't do this. It's not good. Be courageous. So if you practice this, you will not repeat your mistake. Don't worry. Be happy, as the song goes. Don't worry. Be happy. So, husband and wife fight but love each other. Sometimes never can agree. Why this separation, even with so much love? Oh, I can really answer this one. I would love to repeat it. It's a beautiful question. Husband and wife fight but love each other. Sometimes never can agree. Why this separation, even with so much love? You are in this world. I am in this world. What did I start with? Do you remember the poem I started? I am not in this world to live up to your expectation. You are not in this world to live up to mine. You are you, and I am I. And if by chance we meet, it's beautiful. The love that you feel for your spouse is so deeply spiritual and godlike. The separation happens because you expect the partner to be something they cannot be. And that expectation makes you miserable. And the more you expect from that partner, the more the partner will fight against you. Because whatever you resist will persist. Whatever you resist, the more you say no, and I like it my way, your way is wrong, the more it will persist. And I learned this from my wonderful husband again. When I started, and I can give you this as an example, when I started on the spiritual path, we used to work together all the time. We went to work together. We did everything together. And then Nalanie decided she wanted to find something better. So, of course, there was a little resentment, a little kind of, what's my wife doing, going off on all these yogic retreats. And so there was a lot of separation those first 2 or 3 years of my learning to be me. And thank God I had done a lot of meditation before I went on my spiritual path deeply. And thank God I had a wonderful master. Because I asked him, I said, Gurudev, my husband and I are so different. And I love him so much, and he loves us so much, me so much. How can this work? And he said, Nalanie, don't worry. Be that example, and your husband will follow. Just be the example. Accept, adjust, accommodate. So many times when I went on my yoga retreat, he'd be really a little upset. And then I would tell him, darling, I'm really, really not going to this retreat because I want to be away from you. I am going to this retreat so I can be a better human being, a better wife, a kinder mother. Why do you want me all the time grumbling and complaining? Because I used to complain a lot. I don't want to be working in the shop. Why did you bring me to Gibraltar? I said, why do you want a wife like that? I have to transcend those complaining. The only way I can do it is to make myself a better person. And of course, for the first 3 or 4 years, there was a lot of resistance. But when he saw that I was changing, that I was evolving, that I was actually not reacting every time he said something to me, like he would say, I don't like this. And I go, why do you say it like that? And say, okay, darling, you don't like this. When there wasn't a resistance, he saw the change. Now, why are two people so different? together. And I understood it so fully in my marriage. And most relationships are the same. I've learned that too. Because we all have to balance each other. Do you see the yin and yang? White and black? Negative, positive? I was a weakling when I married my husband. Do boo and cry, you know? Everything was too hard. And he was strong. He taught me about business. He brought me strong. When I used to cry, I'd say, crying again? And I had no family to go to, thank God, and nobody to run to. In a way, it's a blessing, because I could build up my own strength. Nobody to run to. I had to be strong, otherwise I get squashed, right? So he taught me strength. And what did I teach him? I brought out the compassion in him, the gentleness in him, which was there, which I always saw. It was just his way of doing things. And I needed to learn unconditional love. So the separation only happens on a physical level, emotional level, and the level of the ego. I am better than you. My way is better than your way. It's always trying to prove one person is better than the other. One person is more right than the other. That is the separation. If you can remember, it's not about right or wrong in your relationship. If both people should sit down, you have this opinion, I have this opinion, we really don't agree. So I talk about it. Let's have fun. The relationship can grow. And it is this relationship that teaches us all these things. And beyond that, it takes us to a place of unconditional love. And I'd like to finish by saying that at the end of my husband's life, you're so welcome. He was so very proud of my spiritual practices. In fact, the last 6 months of his life on earth, before he left, he actually said to me, you know, darling, he stopped resisting. He said, from now on, I will travel with you all over the world. I'll sort out all because I have no time for technicalities. My work is with people, so all day I'm seeing people non-stop, and I'm a grandmother. So he said, I will look after all that side for you, CDs, DVDs. You don't have to worry about any of that. I'll do all that for you, and I'll travel with you. And when he finally said it, he had 6 months, and he came with me for 3 wonderful trips, and he loved them. What a rock he was for me. But then his time was to go. I guess he was so pure, he was so good, and the gods thought he had other work to do beyond this world that was far more important. So, this husband-wife relationship, that you have this deep love, my advice is never forget that deep love. And when you're in separation mode, take some time away from each other and think, because when you're together, you cannot see the goodness in each other. So take a little time, space away, 1 or 2 days, and just start to think of all the good qualities and remember your love, how much you love each other, and focus on that, and then that will dissolve the separation issue. All right? If you have that love, never let it go, because, they say the longer you keep a good wine, the more mature it is, the better it is. And it's the same with relationships. If you can work out all these difficult times, I always say to people, the best years of my marriage was after my 25th year. From 25 to 34 was so much easier, so much better. So, life is a journey. And it is up to us, really, that is the gift we have been given, to see the destiny of the gods. And I love what Swami Chinmayananda always said. He said, men and women, we were born to be supermen and superwomen. And I have learned in my life that people sell this great gift just for a few earthly pleasures. And as Lord Jesus said, for what does it benefit a man to gain this whole world at the loss of his very own soul. So with that, I would like to thank you all for coming, for being here with me, for allowing me to share what the gods have very kindly shared with me. And I wish you all joy and peace in your life. And I thought if we could finish off with a 1-minute meditation on forgiveness. And then Harsha will just go into the Make Me Channel of Your Peace and we'll finish. Is that okay with everyone? Thank you. So please get comfortable. Sit with your spine erect. Take a slow, deep breath. Close your eyes. Exhale fully and completely. Inhale again and feel the cool, clean air enter every single cell in your body, making it rich with joy and peace. And as you exhale, feel that joy and peace filtering through every single body in this room. Inhale again and imagine this beautiful white light surrounding your entire body. See it, rays of light. And as you exhale, see these beautiful rays of light coming from your very own heart, radiating outwards. Now see yourself as you are dressed today. Look at yourself, your face, your expression, and see yourself sitting in this light. And now bring the person that has caused you so much pain, or the circumstance that has caused you so much anguish, straight there in front of you. Look it in the eye and say, I forgive you. And see the beautiful light around the person. I forgive you. Will you forgive me? And hear the other person say, I am so sorry I have caused you pain. Forgive me. And hear yourself saying, I am too sorry I caused you pain. Please forgive me. Smile. Watch the other person or occasion smile and let it just walk away from you, smiling all the time. And as it walks away, say, may you go in peace, and may I go in peace. And feel that peace in your heart. And then we'll finish off. See these rays of light from your heart going out to everyone in this room, this house, this street, government home, new territories, Hong Kong, Far East Asia, and all over the world. See those rays of love and light that you are sending out to everyone. And cover the world with forgiveness. And we ask Mother Nature to forgive us for polluting her air, her waters, and her land. See all the rays of light covering the world with awareness, respect, kindness, and generosity. Come back, bring the rays back to your very own heart, and we'll sing St. Francis's prayer.
Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, your pardon, Lord. And where there's doubt, true faith in you. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there's despair in life, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, only light. And where there's sadness, ever joy. Oh, Master, grant that I may never seek so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. It is pardoning that we are pardoned, in giving to all men